Welcome along, everybody, to my driver ratings for the 2025 Formula 1 Dutch Grand Prix. If you don't know, every single Monday after a Grand Prix, we hop on the stream and we review the race. We have a look at the race highlights, the race reactions. We have a look at F1 Fantasy, F1 Predict, and then we end off the stream on both Twitch and YouTube by doing our driver ratings. Now, we're going to go through each driver one by one in reverse finishing order and rate them out of 10. There'll be a poll up in Twitch chat that you can vote on. So if you're watching on YouTube, come join us on Twitch so you can easily vote. Everyone's opinion is different. Everyone rates differently. So we're just going to kind of collectively do this together. I like to look at the drivers as a whole, their weekend as a whole, and rate solely their performances. So no rookie bias, no like, oh, they should do better, expectation bias. So yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with last place, Lewis Hamilton. What do we rate Lewis Hamilton out of 10? Now, this is what the poll is going to look like. It's going to look like, this is what it's going to look like here. Basically, all you need to do is type in Twitch chat what you rate out of 10 Lewis Hamilton's performance. And then it'll pop up on the poll. Let's get into it. So, Lewis, in qualified P7. He was out-qualified by his teammate by 50 milliseconds. It's weird, though, because Lewis was... oh, wait, I forgot to go live on TikTok. One sec. It's weird because Lewis was looking good this weekend. He was outperforming Charles in practices and in Q1 and in Q2, but when it mattered most in Q3, he just wasn't able to string it together, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, then heading into the race, kind of felt a bit. You know, he kind of struggled in race pace behind his teammate and then ultimately crashed into the wall out of the race. Yeah, pretty poor weekend from Lewis. He didn't have too bad of a qualifying this time around, you know, not too far off his teammate. But yeah, crashing out is not ideal. So I think I'm going to give Lewis a 2.5 out of 10 this weekend. Yeah, he didn't do that bad in quali, but the race pace and then crashing is not great. It's a 2.5 it is from me. Actually decent quality. Even in Q3, Leclerc beat him, but the margin was really small. Yeah, Leclerc was slow too. Can't wait to see TikTok chat make him crash out, yeah, honestly. Southwestern Train Sim, MJ, Naverio, thank you guys for welcome to the stream. How you all doing? Not much to say, just no real improvement. Yeah, exactly. What are you guys saying on the poll? I don't know. Is there much more to really say about Lewis? Sad that statistically on pace, he's very close to Leclerc, but his results are nowhere near. He's had such a bad string of results. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like I said before, I just don't understand how like VCarb or Williams or other drivers and teams were able to string these results together, but then Lewis is just struggling. Like, he's not bad. He just can't string results together. It's so weird. P7 qualifying was not too bad, but it didn't do anything at the start of the race and crashed. Below average for sure. Pace was good, but he crashed due to his own error. Yeah, exactly. All right, when the poll there, majority of you guys saying a 3. Yeah, usually I'd give drivers who crashed lower than a 3 or like quite lower than a 3, but I don't really mind his qualifying pace, so we'll leave it at 2.5. Anyways, that's it for Lewis. Moving on to his weight. I actually want to get the soundboard up. What do I even search to get the soundboard? What do you even search for that? Fuck, like sad trumpet sound, sad trumpet sound effect. No, not that. I want like a yeah, womp. trumpet, womp sound effect. No, I don't want that. I want What the fuck? Okay, this is just dumb now. Okay. Fucking hell. Alright, next driver, Charles Leclerc. Oh wait, I need to get rid of the 2.5. There you go. Oh my god, I'm clicking on the wrong fucking shit right now. Next up, we've got Charles Leclerc. What do you rate him out of 10? The poll's now up in chat. Get your votes in. Bro, how are you getting a double DNF, bro? How are you getting double DNF? DNF. Okay. At the end of the day, it's not Charles' fault, though. So, Charles, in qualifying, qualified P6. He outqualified his teammate. He didn't outqualify Russell or Hadger, though. But to be honest, I think that's exactly where the Ferrari should have been. I thought the Ferrari was honestly going to go out in Q2 with their current form. And other drivers outperforming them. So I'm actually quite happy with Leclerc getting P6, to be honest. So, yeah, decent qualifying from Leclerc. The end of the race, I thought his race pace was pretty decent. I thought his move on Russell was ambitious, but I liked it. I wouldn't knock any points off for that. I think it's a racing incident at worst. I think, yeah. And then he got tangled up with Kimi because of Ferrari's strategy of letting him get undercut and then not even like pushing the tires further. And then he got taken out of the race at no fault of his own. So yeah, I think Leclerc was having actually, to be honest, just a decent weekend. Nothing too crazy. So I'm probably just going to give him a 7. Obviously, we're not rating the results, we're rating the performance, and he didn't get taken out. It wasn't his fault that he got taken out, so I'm giving him a 7. But what do you guys think? I don't think there's even an argument maybe to give him an 8, but yeah. It's Salas from the stream. Race pace was really good. Qualified okay considering the car made a great move on Russell. Got taken out due to no fault of his own. 7 is good. Yeah, he did the savage overtake. I'm even thinking maybe like a 7.5. What do you guys think? Yeah, after you vote in chat, let me know why you vote for that, because I'd love to know why. Your reasoning behind your vote. Naverio, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, 7.5 bad. He overtook Russell twice though. Is it? I don't know. Is 7.5 too high, or is like that kind of fair for a driver who was actually doing okay? Who generally said 4. What's up, Nixie? Qualified too low for 8. Yeah, fair. All right, we'll leave it at 7. I'm not entirely sure that he had the right to try the move with George, but the fact he doesn't fight for strategy is a bit disturbing. Okay, we're going back to 7.5. 7.5 is weird because DNF. Yeah, but it's not his fault he DNF. You know what I mean? We'll go 7. Okay, I'm leaving it at 7. Okay, the poll is done. Majority of you guys saying 7 as well, so we agree on that. Okay, next up, we've got a lot of the big boys straight away to start off the ratings because of their retirements. Next up, we have got Lando Norris. Now, poll is up in chat. What do you rate Lando Norris's Dutch Grand Prix? Yeah, interesting one for Lando because obviously he did retire from the race, but it wasn't his fault at all. Now, Lando qualified in P2. He got out-qualified by his teammate by literally 12 milliseconds. I think both Piastri and Lando could have done better on their qualifying laps. They both, Piastri said he could have done better and he got pole, so that means Lando could have done better. But I don't think Lando did bad. I think with the expectation of Lando this weekend, I think he should have got pole and won. But expectation aside, I thought he did well in qualifying. And then in the race as well, I thought his race pace was good. But he did lose out to Max off the start. Then he got him back pretty quickly. His pace was pretty decent in comparison to Piastri, but he just couldn't close up the gap enough. So yeah, I think it's a hard one. I don't think Lando did bad. I think if you ignore the expectations that he had, I think he did good. Both Piastri and Lando had a really solid weekend. If they had finished 1-2, I think I would have came away from the Grand Prix being like, okay, Lando did well, but he didn't have enough in him to beat Piastri this weekend. So yeah, obviously the retirement wasn't his fault at all, so we can't blame him for that. I'm just kind of torn because it's like you did get out qualified by your teammate. You messed up your last lap because your banker lap was stronger, and then you lost out to Max off the race start, and then you didn't have enough pace to get to close in on Piastri. But then again, I'm going to be rating Piastri highly, and Lando was able to keep up with Piastri, so I think it's only fair to give Lando like a decently high rating. Yeah, I was thinking an 8. Like 0.5 off, maybe like 1 off for getting out qualified by your teammate, 1 off for losing a position off the start / not being able to close up on Piastri. I think 8's fair. But what do you guys think though? 7, missed out on pole after performing well all weekend. No fault in the race, but not sure he would have caught Piastri. Second best result he could have gotten was P2, but he dominated last season, so I expected him to do better this race. So an 8 for me. Behind in quality, lost position to start. Behind Piastri by fair chunk. The unfortunate day didn't have. Also, he also had 2 really awful safety car restarts. 7 for you. Only got out qualified by the tiniest margin. Race pace was similar to Oscar, considering how he stayed within 2 seconds throughout. Mechanical failure, not his fault. I'd say 7.5 or 8. I'm actually tempted to move it down to 7.5 because of his awful safety car restarts. I doubt the pass on Piastri was possible, except on like safety car restarts. The expectations were for him to beat Piastri, considering how everybody was saying this is a very strong track. For Norris, though, and getting overtaken by Max at the start, I think that justifies an 8. If he was behind Piastri all race long with 1 to 2 seconds, 9 could have been justified. It's not like Lando was miles behind before his car failed. Yeah, Lando didn't put pressure on Piastri once. Yeah, that's true. That's what I mean. Like, he didn't really close up. I'm torn between 7.5 and 8. Because Lando didn't really do bad, but then again, he could have done a lot better. Like, he could have beaten his teammate, could have closed in on his teammate. Yeah. I'll leave it at 8. I'll leave it at 8. I think because it's only fair. Like, if we're going to rate Piastri so high, Lando did keep up with him and basically match him the whole weekend. He just didn't have enough in him to beat him. So, yeah. I think from an expectation standpoint, though, I'd say 7 or 7.5 because that should have been a strong track for him. And that should have been a pole and a win. So, yeah. And in the poll there, majority of you guys saying 8 out of 10. Okay, so we agree on that. We agree. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Next up, the first of the drivers who finished the race, we've got Pierre Gasly. Poll is up. Get your votes in. What do you rate Pierre Gasly out of 10? If you just tuned to the stream, guys, welcome on in. We're doing our driver ratings for the Dutch Grand Prix. We're going to go through each driver in reverse finishing order and rate them out of 10. If you're watching on TikTok right now, come join us on Twitch. That is where you can type in chat and have a vote on the poll. Sup, Spider? Sup, Max Flashheart? Sup, Being Human? So we're not having music at the fuck. 8, you're having a laugh? What's wrong with an 8 rating? You think it should be higher or lower? Unlike with the... wait. Oh, yeah. Sorry, we moved on to Gasly now. I forgot. So, Gasly finished in 17th, but he qualified P14. He outqualified his teammate by 2 tenths. He made it through to Q2. Franco didn't. I think that Alpine was capable of making Q2, but, you know, I think it was one of the worst cars this weekend. Kind of no bad side, really. So his quality's okay. It's nothing too crazy. And then in the race, he managed to finish 17th and Franco finished 11th. He finished way down, 6 positions lower. What happened to Gasly in the race? Why did Gasly finish behind Franco? I don't really know what to rate Gasly because it doesn't make sense why he's finished so low below Franco. Unlike with the safety car, but actually looks slower than Colapinto in the race. To be honest, I can't remember anything about Gasly. Yeah, I know they were like swapping and shit, but I didn't really care. T-Bone Plays, welcome to the stream, dude. Nick as well. Hello, hello. No footage of Alpine in the race. In the right stream now. Let's go. Kind of got cooked by Alpine. Was running top 10 late, but his tires never got going. Plus being made to swap positions with another driver in between and his teammate. He defended harder versus Colapinto Newsos than versus Ocon or the rest, preventing Alpine of points. 6. I feel like people look too much at the result here. He was inside the top 10 and had a chance of scoring points. If it weren't for the awful strategy, old hard shite. To get track position, he was 8th briefly, just got cooked by a run on new tires. Right, okay. Interesting. So correct if I'm wrong, wait, what the fuck's happened on YouTube? So correct if I'm wrong, so they basically Gasly was running long, was in the points, got fucked by the safety car, and was just genuinely slower than his teammate. Okay. I don't really know what to rate him. I'm thinking maybe like a 5. I'm thinking like a 5. Like, he qualified okay. His race pace was okay. He was on for a good result. Got fucked by the safety car. But I can't give him a good rating because he also held up Colapinto and actually looked slower than Colapinto and finished so much down on Colapinto. Only finished P70 because of the wild strategy gamble, and the car was, again, the worst on the grid. Didn't do anything special, but he wasn't bad either. Yeah, I'm thinking the 5 as well. I'm thinking 5. I think if you look at the result on face value, it's pretty bad, but I think it wasn't too bad of a weekend for Gasly. I guess the argument is like you also play into the strategy a little bit. I'm gonna go 4.5 because I feel like you also play, you know, as a driver, you're also part of the strategy. So yeah. Okay. Poll done. Majority of you guys saying 4. Oh, big one. Big one. Next up, we have got Kimi Antonelli. What do you rate Kimi out of 10? Get your votes in on the poll. So, Kimi in qualified P11. He got out-qualified by his teammate by only a 10th, but Kimi qualified P11 and Russell qualified P5. So very disappointing. He got out-qualified by Alonso, by Sainz, by Lawson, by Hadjar, by the Ferraris. Poor qualifying. Going out in Q2 again. It's not terrible, but it's bad. And then in the race, he actually moved up the field kind of nicely and was on for a good result. But again, he shouldn't have to move through the field. He should be qualifying higher. And then he takes out Leclerc and ruins his race, gets a 15-second penalty, and finishes in P16. Yeah, he finished in the points if it wasn't for the pens. He also sped in the pit lane, so not only did he get a pen for taking out Leclerc, he got a pen for speeding at the pit lane. I think it's a pretty shocking weekend for Antonelli. Multiple mistakes, bad qualifying. The only redeeming quality was that his race pace was actually good and he would have finished in the points despite the pens. Oh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I want to give him like a 2 and a 3. But at the same time, like, he did come through the field and his pace was decent. So, I don't know, I'm thinking like maybe a 4. Who was the person I rated at the start? Lewis. I gave him a 2.5. I feel like it's only fair to give Kimi the same because Kimi had more incidents. But then Kimi's race pace was better. No, yeah, if I've given Lewis a 2.5, I got to give Kimi the same. Well, at least Kimi didn't crash out of the race, right, guys? Right, guys? Right, guys? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like when you make that many mistakes, your race pace becomes irrelevant. I think I'm going to give him the same rating as Lewis. But Lewis qualified okay. But then his race pace was poo. Yeah, I'll give him the same rating as Lewis. One of the worst weekends, if not the worst of his career. Kimi avenges George on Charles. He had good pace though. Take out Charles pit lane speeding. Not a good race. Merck shouldn't be out in Q2 and ruin his own race. And he was committing acts of terror. You know who Kimi is looking more like? Like Stroll. Okay, dude. Spin the story, Kimi. Honestly, that move was bad. But I do think the things some people are saying are a bit blown out of proportion. Below par quali, had a good race, but undid all the good work by taking out Leclerc. Also spending the pit lane 3 or 3.5 since he had a good pace. He's learning well from Russell, turning into people. Now, Lewis's race pace was better before he crashed, though. You reckon Lewis's race pace was better than Kimi's? Kimi did have a good race pace, to be fair. Kimi avenged George by taking out Max one race after Max drove into George. Then he took out Charles in the same race. Lewis also had a solid race pace, but Kimi had better. Seeing Kimi better barge into Leclerc, I'm not forgiving. He could have had a good race, but move on Leclerc ruined him. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick to 2.5. I think give him the same rating as Lewis. Lewis had a better quality, but Kimi had better race pace. Yeah, and Kimi finished the race. Lewis didn't. But, yeah. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go 2.5. Majority is saying 4. I mean, if you take race pace more into account than incidents, and fair, but I feel like it doesn't matter how good your race pace is if you crash out of the race. So, yeah, I feel like 4 is a bit too high personally, but that's what you guys think. That's what you guys think. All right, next up, we have got Gabriel Bortoleto. A little bit of an under the radar weekend for him after some good performances. Poll is up. Get your votes in. Wilver, welcome to the stream. Mango Apple Dancer, thank you for the follow. It's fairly equal split between 2, 3, 4. Chloe Loss, thank you for the follow as well. Okay, so Gabriel Bortoleto, he qualified P13. He out-qualified his teammate again, this time by 1/10. And then in the race, he finished behind Hulkenberg. I don't know how Bortoleto lost so many positions, or lost 2 positions, despite 3 people retiring in front of him and all the chaos. Does anyone know why? Excuse me. But he, yeah, finished behind his teammate. I feel like Sauber just had a weekend where they couldn't really capitalize on the chaos. Excuse me. Oh my god, I can't stop yawning. He had a really bad start. Oh, yeah, true. He had he stalled or something, right? Fluxy Live, what's up? Kimmy was 15 seconds away from Lewis when Lewis crashed. That was a major Italian mistake also. He had a really bad start. Still refused to pit him in the late safety car and left him with old tires. Really bad start and just drove 70 laps like an average Sunday driver. No hope of points. So 4 for me. Wrong gear start. A very Sauber race. Didn't really do much. Wasn't anywhere in particular. Okay, in that case, I'm probably going to give him a... Oh, this is hard. He outqualified his teammate, which was good. But then he fucked the start, which put him in a bad position. Bad strategy, and just kind of cruised around. I'm thinking like a 4 or 5, so I'm just going to go 4.5, I think. I feel like that kind of makes the most sense. What do you guys think? I think 3, I don't think it was good. Nah, he didn't have a bad weekend. He didn't crash. He didn't underperform. He was just not doing anything. Yeah. Like 6 positions off the start is not great. Oh, maybe it should be lower because he lost so many positions off the start and put him in a fuck position. Actually, I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna go 4. Like, yeah, he qualified okay. Like, losing that many positions off the start is not great. Not capitalizing on that race is not great at all. So I'm gonna go 4. All right, majority of you guys saying 5 though. All right. Next up, we have got his teammate, Nico Hulkenberg. Poll is up. Get your votes in. So Nico went out in Q1, got outqualified by his teammate by 1/10. He also got outqualified by Franco and Gasly. So yeah, not a great qualifying for Hulk. And then Hulk didn't have a bad start, managed to finish ahead of Bortoletto. But yeah, obviously performed worse in qualifying. So I don't know. I feel like similar to Bortoletto, but without the bad start. So do we give him the same rating or 0.5 higher? Flutch Finger, one with the stream. Thank you for the follow. Chloe as well. Thank you for the follow. Shit quality and another nothing race for the other Sauber. Race pace was decent. Bang average for a race of multiple safety cars. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he underperformed this week. And he underperformed in quali. So maybe there's an argument there. Essentially the opposite of Gabby. Nothing race in no man's land. I don't know if I should give him... I'm thinking 4.5 because, like, not capitalizing on a race like that. But then again, he didn't do anything wrong. But then if he qualified higher, it would have been better. Yeah, I'm going to go 4.5 because he could have qualified higher, as his teammates showed. So we'll go 4.5. Why is Nico looking at us like that? He's just... he's enjoying the stare, you know? Is that... Thank you for the follow. Blue Nebula as well. Thank you. Is it really underperforming when he's always out in Q1? True, true. Have you rated Piastri yet? No, we're going to reverse finishing order, so we'll be moving up the grid. Essentially the opposite. Wait, I read that. Hulk qualifying has fallen off a cliff. He was known for his quality pace. Yeah, he just must not be comfortable in the Haas. It's weird. All right. Majority of you guys saying 5 for Hulk. All right, next up, we have got a kind of a hard one to rate, to be honest. We have got Carlos Sainz. What do you rate Carlos out of 10? The poll is up. Yeah, so Carlos, he qualified in P9. So he made it through to Q3. Actually did quite well. Yeah, he outqualified his teammate by 2/10. But most importantly, 6 positions difference to his teammate. And then in the race, what happened in the race before his contact with Liam? Where was he chilling? So he lost. No, he was just chilling behind Liam, and Albon caught up to him. And then on the restart, they came together. Yeah, so then his race kind of fell off after that. It's a hard one because I think that's Liam's fault. I think it's a racing incident at the very worst, if not Liam's fault. That's right. I think it's a racing incident at the very worst for Sainz or Liam's fault. But the FIA have deemed it being Sainz's fault with a pen. So do we rate based off of the FIA's decision, or do we rate based off of my decision? You know what I mean? Because the argument is Sainz knows the rules and he decided to put his car on the outside. But such a stupid decision. Such a stupid decision. So I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. Good start, bad finish. Although the pen was unfair, in my opinion. His recovery was bad. Sainz just chilled in P9. Got stiff massively by the unfair penalty. Was running well in the middle of the points and would have bagged points. But that's just racing, I guess. Crashed with Liam, which wasn't his fault. A decent recovery. Before the crash, he was looking on for like a good result. Even Lawson had a good recovery. Sainz didn't have a pace advantage over Racing Boy. Yeah, what happened to Sainz after the... Oh, no, don't worry. Don't worry. If I had an absolute shambles, right based on what each of us think. Not a bad race, and then Liam happened, made me remember Miami where Liam took out doing it and ended his career. It's weird. They decided that pen in race, but not the Russell, the Leclerc one. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to give Sainz. So, really good qualifying. Out-qualified his teammate. Made it through to Q3. Race pace was good. Based on it being a racing incident / Liam's fault, I think he was probably on for like a good result. But then again, he's put himself in a position... Oh, it's hard. It's hard to rate someone who gets taken out. A 7? Is that too high? Like, he was doing good. He was having a good weekend. Good quality. Good race pace. And then the incident happened. It was dumb to try it for Sainz and he paid for it. Yeah. Yeah, true. True. How was it Liam's fault, though? Genuine question. Because Liam made a mistake and went into Sainz. Oh, it's a hard one. Because I feel like, yeah, I feel like it is Liam's fault. We'll leave it at 6. I think he had good quality, good race pace, got tangled in collision that maybe could have been avoidable, and then didn't really recover too well, unlike some other drivers. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. 6.5. I go 6.5 and leave it there. I don't want to think about this anymore because I hate doing ratings like this. It's too hard. It's too hard. All right. Majority of you guys saying a 6. Okay, so at least we agree in that sense. That makes it easier. All right. Next up, we've got Liam's culprit. Sorry, the culprit, I should say, in my opinion. Liam. What do you rate Liam out of 10 for his weekend? Now, Liam's an interesting one because he... Also, like Sainz made Q3, but he was beaten by his teammate. Hadja qualified P4, Liam qualified P8. He got out-qualified by his teammate by 3 tenths. He made a mistake on his banker lap. And then in the race, like Sainz was doing good race pace-wise, but his teammate was cruising up in P4. And then had the collision with Sainz, which I think is his fault. He made the mistake, had the collision with Sainz. If he just hadn't had the snap, everything would have been gravy, baby. And then ended up finishing P12. Yeah. It's tough. I might give Liam a... Like, when your teammate's up in P4 and you're qualifying lower and then getting tangled up with people... I'm thinking like a 4.5. Like, it's got to be below average. But quali was... Like, getting Q3 in quali is good. But then it's not as good as your teammate. Wait, you guys are giving Liam a 5 and 6? Really? But he caused a collision. That ruined his race. I feel like it's got to be a 4. But they got messed up. I don't know. Him and Sainz both had a good chance at the points and cooked it. Look at where Hadja finished. 5 when your teammate's on the podium. Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like it's too high. Am I tripping? I think... Am I tripping or you guys tripping? Like, he qualified good, but it was still 4 positions and 3 tenths behind his teammate. And then his race pace was okay, but he got tangled up with Sainz, which was his fault, and then didn't finish in the points while his teammate's on the podium. I feel like it's going to be even lower than a 4, to be honest. Without Sainz, Liam is P5 all day long. Yeah, but without Liam making the mistakes, he's P5 all day long. I guess we could just put it down to a racing incident. So they're both kind of at fault. This is tough. Science causes the collection, but by not being alongside. Nah, I say I disagree with that. I'm gonna go 4.5 for Liam. I'm gonna go 4.5. I think worse than his teammate and didn't get the result that he should have due to part of it being his fault. I'm gonna leave that there. Majority of you guys saying 5. I don't know, it's hard, man. It's one of those races where it's just like there's so many drivers who did one bad thing and one good thing. It makes it so hard to rate. All right, next up, last driver before we get to the points. We've got Franco Colapinto. Not seen him this high in a while. What do you rate Franco Colapinto out of 10? Get your votes in on the poll. Wait, what the fuck's happened to my... Wait, one sec. Leave those kids alone. What the fuck happened to my YouTube stream? My YouTube stream just died. Oh no, don't worry. It's bugged on my end. I see. It said I have 0 viewers on YouTube, which makes no sense. Okay. Sorry, back to it. Who we talking about? Oh yeah, Colapinto. So Colapinto, qualified P16. He got out-qualified by his teammate by 2/10. But he out-qualified Hulkenberg, Ocon, Bamman, and Stroll. So not terrible given the Alpine. And then in the race, he managed to finish P11. He finished ahead of his teammate who got fucked by all the strategy and stuff. He looked like he actually had like similar pace, maybe even at some points better pace than Gasly. Obviously, yeah, the reason he's in P11 is because Liam and Sainz collided and Anthony was being stupid and Gasly got fucked and Lando, Leclerc, and Hamilton retired. But still, you know, he almost got points. If it wasn't for a bit of the fucking around in the middle, maybe he could have got a point. I don't think Franco did that bad this weekend. So, but I also don't think he did anything crazy. He just kind of like half capitalized on all the chaos. So I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, is 6 too low? Like, quali was, actually, maybe it should be higher. Like, quali was good. Quali wasn't as good as his teammate, but it wasn't bad. And then race, like you finished P11, capitalized on all the shit, and had a decent race pace. What was I gonna say? What did I rate Gasly? Fourth fastest lap in the race. Damn. 8 F by safety car, F by team comms, and 4th fastest lap behind McLaren and Max. Damn. That's going Battarasan. Well, the shrimp has been decent, better than the other weekends. Yeah, the overtaker is the one responsible for the accident when in the rear. Lol, it wasn't intentional like Charles hitting George. I think Franco had a very good weekend. He could have scored some points, but in my opinion, he was disadvantaged by his team once again. Now 60 did nothing special. Yes, I mean, I don't think he did anything special. You sound like a Minecraft NPC sometimes. What the? Don't forget that he made the 4th fastest lap in the entire race. Right. I'm thinking maybe a 6.5 for Franco. It's so hard to rate this weekend. This week? What the fuck? Wolver, thank you for the follow. Nobody cares about fastest lap, yeah, especially the 4th fastest lap. Because like, who knows what happens with all the low fuel loads and stuff. All right, majority of you guys saying 7. Yeah, okay, I don't mind that. I'm gonna say 6.5 though, because I don't think he did anything special. All right, we move on now to the points. The baby, thank you for the gift. We've got Esteban Ocon. What do you rate Esteban Ocon out of 10? Get your votes in on the poll. Now, if you're just shooting the stream, welcome in. We are doing our driver ratings for the Dutch Grand Prix. If you're watching on TikTok or YouTube right now, come join us on Twitch. We are always live on a Monday after the weekend doing a review and rating the drivers. If you want to vote on the poll, you need to come to Twitch as well. If you're just tuning into Twitch, basically what you need to do is type in chat the number you want to vote for and it will pop up on the poll. So Ocon in quali sucked. Well, actually not as bad as his teammate. He got P18. Both him and Bamman got out-qualified by Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Albon, Gasly, Bortoletto, yada, yada, yada. But in the race, they capitalized perfectly on the strategy. Ocon finishing P10. Now, he did finish 4 positions lower than his teammate. But he did well. He did well. I don't know. It's one of those races where I didn't really like pay attention to the Haas. So they kind of just sprung out of nowhere. So I have to take your guys' word for it. Like, how did this happen? He would have been 6th if it wasn't for the unlucky time pit in the end. The Haas and Stroll are the hardest ones to rate this weekend. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Ocon helped Behrman nearly the whole race with DRS, and he pitted 1 lap before the safety car. That's why he only got P10 at the end. Oh, okay. Nothing special. Got outdone by his teammate, but luckily, Lucky Kimmy had a lot of pens. Right. 8. Shame he missed out on benefiting from the safety car like Behrman. 7.5. Very solid drive. He's certainly locked in, but feel like he could have gotten more. Haas have one of the best strat teams, not gonna lie. Ocon got a point thanks to Gasly defending his contact with Tsunoda. They had out for so long without paying. Oh, excuse me. Put himself in a good place to benefit. Yeah, I'm feeling a 7.5, to be honest. I was feeling a 7.5. Like, qualifying was really bad, so we knock off, like, 1.5 for that. And then we maybe knock off 1 in the race because he didn't do as well as his teammate. Slash maybe could have done a little bit better, but it sounds like it comes down to a little bit of strategy. I like 7.5. I think that's good. But yeah, good point for Ocon. It's good to see him doing well. All right. Majority of you guys saying 7. All right. We agree. We agree. Okay, next up, a driver who's not been in the top 10 much lately, not gotten points much this season. We've got Yuki Tsunoda. The poll is up for Yuki. Get your votes in. I'll give you 1 sec, guys. You know, readjust the underwear real quick. It's so weird without music, man. What the fuck? All right, Yuki, for his standards, end up having a good weekend. In qualifying, he qualified P12, which isn't that bad given where he's been lately. Only, well, actually 5/10 off of Max in Q2. Not amazing, but again, not terrible. And then in the race, managed to get points. He managed to get P9, but again, finished 8 positions down on his teammate. Sorry, 7 positions down on his teammate. Now, again, not a bad result for Yuki and the second Red Bull standards, but obviously we're not taking like bias and all that stuff into consideration. We're just rating the performance solely. And like at the end of the day, you're still finishing 7 positions down on your teammate in the race, and you're still finishing qualifying 5/10 behind your teammate. But I don't think you did too bad. So I'm gonna give Yuki a 5, maybe a 5. I know you guys are gonna be like, that's so low. Like he did well, he got points, but like we're rating the performance. You know, we're not rating the Red Bull second seat. We're rating the performance. Red Bull honestly should have kept Perez. Yuki Tsunoda. Finishing in the points with his problem at the end was so... What was his problem at the end? Send him to the top, fellas. Some improvement for real, for real. Put himself in a good place to benefit from Kimmy's pens. I mean, Yuki did great compared to previous races, but he's in a Red Bull plus bonus points for overtaking. Yuki's 19th in the championship now. Lamau. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling like a 5. I'm feeling like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. If you take away, like, knowing that the Red Bull second seat is hard. Maybe we should just start rating the Red Bull second seat for the Red Bull second seat. But then we're just changing rating systems. You know, like we rated Perez for him. We rated Liam for him. We rated Yuki so far for him. So if we just randomly change it to rate it based off the second seat, it just becomes, I don't know, inconsistent. Does he have the same car as Max now? I think, yeah, they should have the same parts, right? I don't know why I'm getting so itchy right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave Yuki at 5. I know that's harsh, given his current form, but I think, yeah, just rating purely off the seat, like 5/10 behind his teammate in qualifying, and 9 positions down, and then race 7 positions down on his teammate, and benefiting from chaos and pens. Like, I don't think there's anything too crazy, but I don't think it's bad. So I'm gonna leave him at 5. Do you think Yuki will get a seat next year? I hope so, man. I hope so. If it's not Red Bull, but then again, there's not many seats open, so you might need to take a year break. Okay, next up, we have got Fernando Alonso, a real hard one to rate. Another real hard one to rate. Get your votes in on the poll. What's your thoughts on Isaac Hedger's podium yesterday? We're going to get to Isaac Hedger very soon. J. Craig, then follow. Alonso, in qualifying, qualified P10. He did out-qualify his teammate by an infinite amount of time because, well, 10 positions because Lance Stroll bummed down in quali. But I think the Aston Martin could have done better in qualifying. I think it could have out-qualified Sainz. I think it could have out-qualified Liam. And I think it could have even done better than that. But I don't know what happened. It was looking good all weekend. But still, he did make Q3. So that's okay. Oh, well, that's good. And then in the race, he managed to finish P8. But he had one of those races where, like, he was kind of no man's land or, like dropping through the field. And then he happened to do the right strategy. Or he got fucked by the safety car. And then he was good by the safety car. And he finished P8. But he still finished behind his teammates. So, I don't know. Bit of a weird weekend. I feel like 7 is probably like a good rating for him. Like, he did good in quali. He did good in the race, but it could have been better. But what do you guys think? Very hard. Team Strat almost locked him out, but he's the GOAT of the rookies. The wind, as such, he deserves 8. He was behind L Stroll. His strategy was bad, but his pace was good. 8, fucked with the safety car, but at the end of the day, he said to his team to go for the 2-stop, but he out-qualified his teammate. 6, bad time with safety car, but still average. Now the next guy, I got something controversial. You made me think he can challenge for a pole and podium. Yeah, I did. I did. I pranked everyone. One of the best rookies this season. Okay. Yeah, this is tough. No, I'll go 7.5. I'll go 7.5 for Alonso. All right, majority of you guys saying 7, so we agree. We agree. We're kind of pumping these out quick today. I'm not gonna lie. All right, next up. Okay, probably gonna be the most controversial one of the lot. Lance Stroll. What do you rate Lance Stroll out of 10? Get your votes in. This is tough. This is tough. Now, we don't take practice into consideration for performance, but if you crash, we do. And he crashed in practice. Then we head into qualifying. He doesn't even set a lap, and he crashes again, and he starts dead last. So already on a performance point at this point, he's got a 1 rating. Terrible. Not even a 1. He's got a fucking 0. But in the race, somehow his strategy was absolutely cooked. He went onto the hards early on, undercut everyone, got into the mix, and finished in P7. Really, really, really good. So, if someone went from P20 to P7 in an Aston, and they were in P20 and it wasn't their fault, they would get a really high rating. But it was his fault. He shouldn't have been starting P20. But then again, he did recover to P7. But it was also a little bit of luck. It was because of the chaos. So, I don't know. I'm thinking of giving him a 7. I think I'm giving him lower than Alonso. I think Alonso did better in quali. And I think Alonso managed to finish P8 with not as good of a strategy. Whereas Stroll was on the best strategy possible, completely lucked out, and had a terrible quali and had two crashes in the weekend. I don't know. It's a hard one. It's a really hard one to rate. Absolutely beautiful drive considering his weekend performance. An honest 8. 7, 10, 9. Damn, it's so polarizing. Stroll is plan C for chaos for real. The thing with Stroll is that unlike everybody else in that train, he actually managed to overtake both Haas's on track, thus making his own luck. Yeah, true. Alonso had a horrible strategy. That's his gimmick. If he qualified P11, he would have possibly outdone Russell or Albon. But then again, he wouldn't have done the strategy he did because he was so far down. Who's your favorite driver in track? Favorite driver is Liam Lawson. Favorite track? I don't know. I like a bunch of different tracks for different reasons. I'll say Monaco today. I mean, he ended up... No, not Monaco. Jeddah. Saudi Arabia. I mean, he ended up in points only because of the strat, and it's not his masterclass. I'd rate him lower than his teammate. Yeah, that's why I'm giving him a 7. I'm giving Alonso a 7.5 because they finished right next to each other, and Alonso had the better weekend overall. I'm giving Stroll a 7. Then again, there's an argument Stroll should be rated lower. Or maybe I should rate Alonso higher. Maybe, okay. I'm rating Alonso an 8 because... but even Alonso could have done better. I'm giving Alonso 8. I'm giving a Stroll a 7. I'm knocking heaps of points off Stroll. Because of the crashes and because of the poor quali. And I can't rate him much higher than 7 when you had that much luck. Nah, 8 at least for sure. Yeah, but he got really lucky. You know what I mean? But then again, he's made his luck. Ah, it's tough. I'm going 7 for Stroll. I'm going 7 for Stroll. All right. Next up, another kind of polarizing one. We have got Ollie Behrman. How has this man finished P6? What? Poll is up in chat. Get your votes in for Ollie. Now, Ollie in quali. Well, that rhymed. Ollie in quali got out-qualified by his teammate by 1/10. He qualified 19th, dead last. But I think that's where the Haas deserved to be. You know what I mean? Like, or not deserved to be. Like, obviously, it could have probably out-qualified Hulkenberg or Colapinto or maybe made Q2, but I'm not mad that they went out in Q1. I think that was expected for the Haas. And I think seeing as how Ocon and Behrman performed in the race and then being both out in Q1, I think that's where the Haas should have been. But he did get out-qualified by his teammate. And then in the race, perfect strategy, great race pace, finishes in P6 and ahead of his teammate. Obviously, Ocon got unlucky though. So yeah, Behrman's had an amazing race in the end. It's one of those ones where we can't really look at his quali because I feel like he qualified where his qualified where the Haas is meant to be. So yeah, I'm feeling like it's just tough. I'm feeling like an 8.5. I don't know. It's so hard to rate right now. I feel like I've lost my mojo with rating. Ben was insane. Alonso 8 and Tsunoda 5, even though both Q2 are next to each other. Yeah, but one's in a Red Bull, one's in an Aston Martin. I don't care if this was luck. He was just insane. Haas have done so many runs from the back this year. Yeah, he did the same race as Ocon, but got a little luckier. You can't rate him a lot higher. Maybe it is a 9. No. I think it is a 9, actually. I think it's got to be a 9 because quali, yes, he could have done better, but the Haas was going to qualify at the back regardless. And then he took where he qualified and raced really well and obviously he got lucky, but he made the strat work. I can't give him a 10 because it was luck. It wasn't like pure skill, but he still made the luck work. So I'm going to say 9. Aston arguably easier to drive for its pace. It's like a worse V carb. Pro Julian, name of the follow. We have to say both Ferraris and McLaren got out. It would have been 9th. Oh, you're saying if they didn't go out, I assume. All right, we're going to end the poll there. Majority of you guys saying a 10. Majority of you saying 10 for Ollie. I'm going to disagree with that. I think if he got that position with less chaos and 3 people retiring and the front and stuff like that, then yeah, I can agree. But I don't think you can have I don't think it can be a perfect weekend when he qualified where he did and needed a lot of luck to get there. But I can agree with a 9 because I gave him a 9. All right. Next up, I was going to say best of the rest, but no. Alex Albon. Get your votes in on the poll. Guys, if you're just tuning in the stream, welcome in. We're doing our driver ratings for the Dutch Grand Prix. If you're watching on TikTok or YouTube right now, come join us on Twitch. That is where you can vote on the polls to rate the drivers. If you're just tuning in the stream, the Twitch stream, all you got to do is type in Twitch chat the number you want to vote for, and it will pop up on the poll. Easy clap. Okay. Alex Albon. In qualifying, he got out-qualified by his teammate by 2/10. Specifically, 6 positions. He got out-qualified by Gasly, Bortoleto, Yuki, Antonelli, Alonso, Liam. He could have done a lot better in qualifying, I think. However, in the race, he had an amazing drive and finished in P5. Awesome start that put him right up next to Sainz straight away. Then obviously Sainz and Liam tangled, and then he just moved up the grid after that, and then a lot of collisions happened. I think Albon's had an amazing weekend, and I think I'm going to give him a 9 as well. Same as Behrman. I can't give him a 10 because he got out-qualified by his teammate, and he needed like luck to get the result he did. But he made it work, so 9 out of 10 for me. I think 9 because he could have gotten Russell, who had damage for people. Yeah, that's true. He could have also gotten Russell, which he didn't because Russell had damage. But it wasn't his fault in quality. He had problems with tires. Well, no, I mean, he needs to get his tires in the right window then. Albon has quadruple the points of Sainz now. That's crazy. And he's got the same amount of points as Antonelli. Okay, I need to begin the Albon glaze. Go for it. Sup, pro? Well on the stream. Jake, thank you for the follow. I think, Meaning he is tied with the works Mercedes engine late for P7. Yeah, that's true. Same engine, different team, and oh my god, they got the same amount of points. Tayaba, thank you for the follow. All right, I'm gonna leave Albon at 9. Again, not a perfect weekend, so I can't give him a 10. But great result in the end. Great race pace, great strategy. 9 out of 10 for me. Majority of you guys say 9 as well, so we agree. All right, we move on to the top 4. We have got George Russell. What do you rate George Russell out of 10? Man, this guy, how does he keep doing this? 7! 7! Nah. Okay, I'm going to crash out. George, in qualifying, yes, he got out-qualified by Hadjar, but he out-qualified his teammate by a 10th, by 6 positions. He out-qualified everyone he needed to other than Hadjar. So it was still a good qualifying. It wasn't great because he didn't out-qualify Hadjar, but it was still a good qualifying. Then, in the race, he was doing his normal race, not dropping through the field, just holding his position. It did suck that he wasn't able to get past Hadjar in a V-carb. Then he obviously had his contact with Leclerc. I think it's a racing incident, so you could argue he's partly at fault for that and why he got damaged. So yeah, fair enough. And then that damage caused him to not be able to get past Hadjar. But he managed to hold on to P4 with a damaged car. I think he's done a really good job. Actually, yeah, 7, I wouldn't agree with, but I'm going to go 8. I think you knock off a little bit for not out-qualifying Hadjar. I think you knock off a little bit for the racing incident and giving himself damage. But I think he's done an amazing job to hold on to P4 with damage, and just did way better than his teammate in general. So I'm thinking an 8. He could have been 3rd in quali and ended up 5th. He got on the restart. Yeah, that as well. During the battle with Claire. Solid drive from him. Honestly, one of the best drivers right now. If Merc don't want him, he should find a better team. It's going to be hard to find a better team, though, which is the problem for him. But yeah, I love Russell a lot. 7, but he was unlucky with damage. I know, Merc had a little pace this weekend. Who did he get? Wait, who did he get overtaken by on the restart? Oh, sorry, the restart. I was thinking the race start. Yeah, to be fair, the Ferrari shouldn't have been racing him when the Ferrari was as bad as it was. I'm happy with an 8. All right, majority of you saying 8 as well. We agree. Okay, we've got to move on to the top 10. Voice crack. I think we might have the first. Okay, no, actually, I won't say it. Let's just vote, and then we'll go from there. Okay, next up. We move on to the top 3. Someone clip that voice crap, by the way. We move on to the top 3. Isaac Hadjar. We don't even need to talk about it. I'm giving him a 10 straight away because it was a perfect weekend. This was an 11 out of 10 weekend, if we're being real, right? He qualified P4. He out-qualified Russell in a Mercedes, Leclerc and Hamilton in a Ferrari, and he out-qualified his teammate by 3/10, which shows it wasn't the car because Liam couldn't do the same. Then, in the race, he held off Russell the entire time. You know, people can say, oh, you got lucky. You got a lucky podium. Then why is he holding off a Mercedes and a Ferrari, right? He also was keeping up with Max really, like he had really, really good pace. And obviously Liam is trundling around, getting tangled up and stuff like that. Obviously, the only reason the podium happened was because Lando broke down, but he would have got a 10 anyway. Even if he finished P4, I would have given him a 10. It's the fact that Lando then retired and he got a podium. Amazing, man. 11 out of 10 weekend, as perfect as it gets. Such a good fucking drive. So yeah, 10, easy 10 for Hadjar. The first 11 out of 10, and I'll say it after. We can't tell when you have voice cracks. It's just your natural tone. Okay, bro. Leclerc was up his ass. Nah, quality was good, but he just held position the whole race, and his car was good this race. Just luck, in my opinion. What? Nah, genuinely can't think of what he could have done better. Exactly. There's nothing he could have done better. Oh, beat Max? No. Oh, beat your teammate more? Not possible. Like, there's nothing. It was perfect. He didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, majority of you guys saying 10 as well. I agree. All right, next up, P2. I have got Max. We've got Max Verstappen. What do you rate Max out of 10? Get your votes in on the poll. Now, Max qualified P3. He outqualified his teammate by 5/10. He outqualified the Mercedes and the Ferraris like he's expected to do. Qualified exactly where he should be. But the best part about quali was the whole weekend I was expecting 5/10. No, he ended up only being 3/10 behind the McLarens, which I think is a great effort. Then, in the race, he dives past Lando, gets him straight off the bat, gives himself the best chance of trying to win the race by trying to get past both of them. Amazing save. A little bit of a mistake, but I think the mistake came from him taking the dive, so he wouldn't have got the position without the mistake. The only thing I'm disappointed from Max, and I don't know if I'm going to take a point off for it, is just not defending Lando. But then I guess you could argue if he had actually spent time racing Lando, Hadge's pace was actually good. Maybe he would have beat him because the Red Bull's tires were falling off. He just then trundled around the track, doing his usual thing, and ends up finishing P2. So, yeah, Max has done absolutely nothing wrong. And once again, he's putting that car into places I don't think it should be. If you look at how Mercedes are doing, if you look at how Ferrari are doing, and if you look at how Yuki's doing, Max is taking a top car, but that's inconsistent with a very competitive midfield and consistently putting it where it should be. So I'm giving Max a 10. He didn't do anything wrong this weekend. And there's nothing he could have done better. Unless you can tell me what Max could have done better, he's a 10 because he's had a perfect weekend. According to Alonso, the V carb is better than the Red Bull, so he lost to Max, who's in a worse car. 9.5 pretty much did everything he could. Same philosophy, did the best he could with the car. What more could have he done? Feels like he could have tried to fight with Lando more. He sounded like he gave up too early. Yeah, he got dropped really fast after the restart, so he didn't attack Lando like he should have. He got dropped. He maximized everything. And did an amazing overtake on Lando. He got within 2/10 of the rocket ships. He didn't defend Lando because he had to nurse the soft into the medium strategy. Couldn't have known the latest safety car. Yeah, true. Realistically, if Russell didn't have damage, I think he would have challenged Max and Hadjar after the safety car. Maybe, but then why did Russell take so long to challenge Hadjar at the start of the race? Apparently, Hadjar had team orders to not overtake the sister team. No, I would like him to fight Lando more, but I know it wouldn't change anything. Did everything he could, but that ass car. Yeah, I think some people might be like, oh, giving Max a 10 bias. I think you got to remember, a Max 10 and a Hadjar 10 are different. Like, Max's 10 is he did everything he could in his car, no faults, no mistakes, just a perfect weekend. Hadjar's is he drove perfectly, and it's a fucking insane result. Like, I'm not going to give Max a lower rating because Hadges should look better. They just both get 10s because they both did nothing wrong and had a perfect weekend. So, yeah. 10 for me, for Max. Majority of you guys saying 9. I don't mind that. I can see a 9.5 because it wasn't like a crazy weekend for Max. I think it's just, I'm getting to the point now where we're seeing this Red Bull be so poo and somehow Max is still putting on podiums. But I think people are underestimating how that's Max is doing and not the car. You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyways, last but definitely not least, we have got Oscar Piastri. Poll is up. Get your votes in for Oscar. Again, I don't even think we need to talk about it. Straight to a 10 for me. He got a grand slam. He's come to Lando's best track, in my opinion, or at least based off of last season. Lando's strongest track based off of last season, I should say. And outqualified him twice, not only on the banker lap, but on the final lap as well. To be fair, Piastri did make a mistake on his final lap, and he said that. He said, I could have done better, but he still got pole. And then in the race, held off Lando, held off Max off the race start. No one had a sniff at him the entire race. Held amazing race pace on Lando to the point where Lando couldn't even get in DRS. Handled all the restarts perfectly, and cruised home for a P1 to extend his championship lead. And that means he gets a grand slam. So a 10 out of 10. Yeah. And now what I was going to say before, but I didn't want to say it, was I think this is the first time the top 3 all get a 10. Yeah, I think what Isaac, Max, and Oscar did this weekend is just show like what I think an F1 driver should be doing, and like, you know, they're out qualifying their teammate, they're out racing their teammate, and they're putting the car exactly where it should be. Like that's a 10 for me. Is you leave the Grand Prix going like, what more could have they done? Like, there's nothing they could have done. Like, Max going to beat Piastri? No. Is Max going to race Lando? No. Is Hadji going to beat Max? No. Is Piastri going to, I don't know, pull 20 seconds on his teammate? No. Like, there's nothing more they could have done. So, honestly, such a top tier podium. And yeah, for the first time, 3 drivers getting top 10 in the top 3. Was there any other? Who are the other drivers we rated high? Actually, let's finish talking about Piastri first. Majority of you guys given Piastri a 10 as well, so we agree. All right, well, that is it for the driver ratings. Yeah, 3 drivers in the top 10. The top 3 getting a top 10. Who were the other highest rated? We obviously got those 3 had top 10s, but what did everyone else get? I think we gave out a couple 9s, right? Was it Albon 9, Bamman 9? Yeah. Oscar is so good. Absolutely destroyed Lando at a track. Oh, wait. I forgot to read all of the all the Piastri comments. My bad. How much did Hadji get? We gave Hadji a 10 as well. Bro got a Grand Slam. Grand Slam is a clean 10. It never really looked as though he was under threat from Lando, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely destroyed Lando at a track that Lando should destroy him in. Controlled every lap and had average of 1.5 second gap to his teammate. Even if Lando did get DRS, I think Oscar was saving tires way too much. Yeah, exactly. He was working the sim during the break. Such a good podium. We saw that when Lando got down to 1.1 a couple times, he pushed the gap. Yeah, exactly. I think Lando is better in the rest of the races this season except Baku. Oh, I can't wait to see hopefully Lando and Piastri battle in Baku. Piastri is your world champion. Also, he nailed every restart. Yeah. What grade did Tsunoda get? I think I gave him a 5. Ian Bosch, I think I gave him a 5. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the driver ratings. Thank you all for watching. It was a bit of a weird driver ratings. I feel like a lot of drivers were like, oh, well, they got lucky, or like, oh, they did their result was bad, but they weren't that bad. It was kind of hard. We kind of powered through it a bit today. It was weird not having music on, I think. Anyways, thank you guys all for joining in for the driver ratings. If you watched on YouTube or TikTok, come join us on Twitch. That is the place to be, and that is where you can vote on the polls for future driver ratings. We do this every single Monday after a Grand Prix, so join me next Monday after the Italian Grand Prix, where we'll do it all again. Anyways, YouTube, end of the stream there. Catch you guys later. Be sure to sub down below, like the video. Bye.